a playmaker is really the difference maker. Someone who can make things happen out of nothing. Someone who creates things. Especially if you use a sports analogy, there's a lot of guys out there playing, but there's, I think, few that, can change a game or can make something happen out of nothing that allows his teammates a chance to succeed. Off the court, if you feel inspired or you feel passionate about something, you have all the ingredients of a playmaker. The only thing left is activation. When people have passions or they're inspired by something and they don't act on it, that's when you're not a playmaker. But if you want to be a difference maker, you want to be a playmaker, it's getting up every day and going out there and doing it. An individual can be a playmaker and make great things by himself or herself, make things happen. But, for me, it's always fun to watch people who mobilize others and watch people who inspire others to do things or can create a team or get people together and see how together, their power is exponential. Fortunately for me as a basketball player, I always wanted to get my teammates involved. I always felt like a fun part of the game was being creative and finding ways to get to different places on the court and cause problems for the defense to enable my teammates to be open. So for me, that was just the first thing, I think, probably from playing soccer as a kid and playing hockey as a kid. It just seemed really natural to, try to create plays for my teammates. There's so much that you can relate soccer and basketball by, angles, space, the timing and rhythm. Growing up playing soccer, I'm trying to be creative and find ways to get a ball to my teammates, whether you have to bend it to get it there or chip it or slide it through a gap or use the outside of your foot or the inside of your foot. When I started playing basketball, I felt in some ways like it was cheating because you could use your hands, and it was so much easier to move the ball that way. So I think soccer really helped me be a better playmaker in basketball. I feel like I'm at a place now where I understand what it takes to stay healthy and to stay fit and so that I'm not susceptible to injuries. I approach soccer with those things in mind so that, soccer only enhances basketball for me. It only gets me in great shape. It only allows me to play and to not necessarily burn my mind by playing too much hoops. In the summer, for me, skateboarding is a great way to get around the city. So I got into it because a friend of mine, one of my teammates, Brian Grant, took me to the skate park, and I loved it. And so I went a couple times, and then when the season was over, going to New York, I realized, I could skate and get around the city way easier than walking or taking a taxi. And, sometimes, I could get somewhere on my skateboard faster than I could in a taxi. It's a great way for me to be active and be outside, be good to the environment.